Well, the other day we had a look at the HB600 Lafayette, and I was out in the American barn, and I happened to see, I reckon this came from Alan Donahue, Alan VK3FAJD. You can make a comment on the file or on the the notes of YouTube if this one came from you. I know for sure that the green robin, the old, and we'll do something on that very soon, came from you, but I reckon this Lafayette came from you too, Alan. So anyway, be interested to know. Now, I have not, this is the first time I've ever played with one of these, so excuse my ignorance a little bit as I learn and you learn with me, or people in the comments file might sort of have something to say about, they probably know more than I do. Anyway, so what I've done is I've taken the unit, plugged it into 240 volts. I have the original Lafayette microphone, now a bit different from the other one that we saw the other day, just in its design with the black rear and the cream sort of looking front on it, but definitely a Lafayette. And so I started to have a look, and so this crystal tune and the volumes and squelch obviously talk for themselves. I haven't even checked if it receives yet, but what I did find, now it's just something, this appears to be a channel selector to some degree. Now once again, please just bear with me. I'm not sure what the spot is on and off yet. I'll have to download a manual, but what I did notice was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm getting hello, 1, 2, hello, about 3 or 4 watts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and we're not on that frequency exactly. So what I'm curious about is when I change this adjustment here, no, that's not changing my transmit frequency at all. I thought I'll just have a look here, but no. Alright, so we'll just leave that there for the minute. So what else could possibly do? This crystal tune. I could eject a signal. Hang on, let's just have a look. It's only 2 positions there, so 19.5 kc is off. So we're actually one channel, 1, 2, 1, 2. We're probably one channel off at the moment. Let's go to the spectrum analyzer and let's just have a quick look at where we are. Okay, yep. Well, that looks pretty clear that we need to change that. Righto, I need 2 hands for this. I'll just fix that. Okay, so learning a little bit. We were actually on channel 11. That does blink around a bit. It's just the video doing that, sorry. But as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's me on 27085. So that's channel 11, the call channel. And if we just go back to the screen here, let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We see our error frequency, which is just there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're pretty close on frequency now. So 27085 is K. So I'm yet to work out how this works here, but we may find out in a second when we inject a signal. So let's eject a signal. Aha! It even receives. Now, does this change anything? No. What about if I put that into this position? That's setting up a almost like an oscillator. So I'm wondering if that is like a 100, sort of kc, or in this case, it's probably more likely to be a set frequency. Now, when I turn that with the spot on, nothing happens. All right. So let's go back to there. Let's just see how much S meter, way over with that there. So let's take it down. Turn that volume back up again. No, we have lost it. Hang on, squelch is up a bit too high there. Oh no, we're still hearing it there. Alright, so it's a bit deaf. We're putting about 5 microvolts into it, so minus 93 dBm. So it's definitely a bit deaf at the moment, but I'm just trying to find out, is that us? I'm just going through the... Okay, so that's definitely channel K is what we're going to call channel 11. And we are still very unsure of a few things. I suppose what we should do is have a quick look at... let's put the spectrum analyzer back on, and let's put this on transmit. So let's rotate our channel selector and just see what happens. Nothing. Okay, so actually let me just turn that generate off. So, right, so we're going around to, there was nothing in I. There's definitely a crystal in H. Nothing in G. Crystal in F. Now, how much difference? Yeah, it's moving by about a channel. Sorry, there we go. So we're going F to E, and there's one channel difference. You can see it jumping back and forth there. And, all right, so effectively this has got crystals in it to cover 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's it. 4. Okay, so basically, by the looks of it, as we were rotating this selector here, this is selecting different transmit and receive frequencies to have a listen to. So it looks like we've got the choice of 4 channels of this at the moment. Now, I've got to look up the HE20, but I think it's about 1965. There's a really big part of me wants to pull the screws out of this thing and just have a look inside. So let's do that, because we're just going to be wondering otherwise, aren't we? I mean, the question's in my mind. Any valves in there? Can we see a bit more of what happens, and why it does? And you might say, why don't you just download the bloody manual? Good point. But this is more fun. Okay, let's pull some screws out. Okay, so we've got the covers off, and first thing that becomes very obvious is they've done a change of transformer for 240 volts, which has been done extremely neatly. This is probably what we want to do with the other one. Nice and solid, not going anywhere. But once again, I like to see these areas here on the primary covered. There's 240 volts on these spots, so and actually, sorry, let me just make note of something else. No one changed any transformer out at all. I'm wrong. As we go, here's 117, so they've just changed the tap to 220 volts, which is close enough. So basically, bang bang. But once again, so that wire there is live 240 volts, and there too. So active neutral coming into that transformer. Okay, so here's the good news. We were right. There is a few channels fitted to this, and you can see by the crystals that are in there. Here's our output stage that's been done. That's giving us a whole 4 watts. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2. Into a dummy load there, and so I'm just going to go and have a quick look. I'd like to tell you exactly what year these were made. Because we had a bit of controversy over the HB600. Turns out the HB600 was around 1966, but there was they were still being sold in Australia through a catalogue in 1973 on the HB600. So with the HE20T, we're about to find out. I want to go just see quickly before we go much further. Right, we patiently wait now while the manual prints out. This is my little. In my bedroom here, I have it's a fairly large bedroom. It's about the size of everyone's lounge room, to be honest. But I won't I won't start showing you all around this room. My missus will kill me. But I found cbtricks.com has a full owner's manual for the Lafayette HE20T. So as the papers come off, this will teach us quite a bit. And 1968 was mentioned in one document that I saw. Isn't this great that you can just go and download an entire manual like this straight off the net? It's about 18 pages long, and you really learn a lot. Okay, so let's just pull that out. So what we're talking about, this is very similar. Now they say, have a look at this. 23 channels tunable with spotting switch, plus provision for 12 crystal controlled channels. So we need to have a look at that and see how they do that and how they make that work, because I've got to be honest, I haven't quite, my head hasn't got around that just yet. Reload, paper in tray. Righto, I'll be coming through the catalogue in a minute. The owner's manual. I'll just go get some more paper. Okay, so we're back to receiving data. Good, we can get this manual done, and we'll have a bit of a look and just see what some of the operations of this is. Well, that's a good sign. In the time we've been off printing a manual, it's still working, which is good. No valves in this, which tells us that That 1968 could be about right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty stable. It's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it hasn't moved off frequency or anything, so certainly the oscillator's looking good. All right, so we just want to learn a little bit now, I suppose. See, at the moment, we're not getting much here, but we go to that spot position, and I'm assuming I can hear... I'm assuming I should have a look at the manual. Okay, so the keys in some of this here where it says the receiver is designed to receive AM signals, 27 megs, 11 meter band, blah, 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 blah. 23 channel variable tuning plus 12 crystal controlled channels. A spotting switch permits the receiver to be precisely tuned to your transmit crystal in the variable tuning mode. Okay, so let's see if we take the tone off and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got that spot on now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, does that change its frequency? I'm thinking no. All right, I'm actually moving the frequency at the moment, and so I'm still struggling a bit with how this spot works. The only thing I do notice is that when I go to spot, it almost like it's taking on a we'll just check that it's still transmitting. So it's still transmitting okay on there, so that's good. But when we go to spot, it's almost like it's picking up a signal internally, and it's just full scale deflection. So we may have a fault there, or we may have a operator idiot error on my behalf. The crystal tune will just be, I would say, when we've got a tone into it. Let's have put a bit of juice behind that, and what channel are we on there? No. Oh, hang on. Okay, the only thing I've changed is that crystal tune. So now when I go there, so when I go to crystal tune, for some reason I lose that input signal. So let's have a look why. Righto, so basically the spot permits the exact tuning of the receiver to your transmitting frequency. Now, I'm not finding that to be the case, so we may have an issue there. Still could be operator error. And 14, let's have a little look here. 12, 14, dot, 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 dot. So I'm just missing the point here. Where did I see that just before? I was just reading something and I thought, oh. Squelch makes sense. Yeah, spot, yep. Eliminated dial in the window shows the channel to which receiver is tuned when the receive switch is in the tune position. Okay. So we need to go to the tune position, but no go. To be able to get anything there. So I'd say we've got a problem on the tune position of the crystal. I think I've started to get it. When you're in crystal position, you're using these crystals in here. When you're in tune, this should actually find that signal. We should be able to find it on the receiver there somewhere. Now, I'll just check that we haven't got... Now, if we're on channel 11, which we are, we're injecting a signal at about 15 microvolts. Just check that there's no other position in this selector that opens up that ability. And I thought we might be missing something there, but it doesn't look like it. And look, by the way, I love this sort of investigation, trying to work out, okay, what does this do? The spot has still got me, so as you can see, it does generate. The spot is definitely generating some sort of signal there, which I don't think that's what it's meant to do at all. I think that something's oscillating inside and causing that to happen. But I've got to tell you, I'm not unimpressed with the fact that this thing is doing as much as it is, because it's working. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, and if we go into the once again, it has the power RF, and then they've got the signal when you flick that across to there. So as you can see, it's a little bit deaf at the moment. I could probably pick that up a bit. You'll find that the receiver's probably got a cap or something that's having a little bit of trouble in here. But the receiver, look, it's quite a simple design. Transmitter, receiver, and you can see the 455 and how they do that. And all just comes in. This here will be a mic amp circuit. Power supply comes through here. It's funny, they used to spend a lot of money getting these mic amp circuits around this area here, and for a very good result too. But I can see a couple of broken little bits here. We may find that we can manipulate those and get a bit more sensitivity fairly easily, actually. So, but overall, look at this. Let's call it 1968. That's about the closest I could see. I mean, what a bit of history, and if you don't get excited about this as much as I do, well, you just might be a bit more saner than me, I don't know. But we put all this information into a book, and turn that down. Off would be better, wouldn't it? Right, okay. We put all this information into a book. We make all these little booklets up for every one of these radios, which, as you can imagine, that sort of gets into a fairly large number. But it is just fantastic to be able to, when somebody comes along and says, oh, look, can I have a look at that radio? Not only can they look at the radio, often we've got the box and the books. In this case, 1968, we've had to print out the manual, of course, but I'm happy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's put it back into transmit meter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2. I wonder if I put an antenna in. I doubt we're going to hear much because the receiver's a little bit deaf. Right, I've got an antenna on there. We're on channel 11 AM. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anybody hear us in Tangam, Balanga, Northeast Victoria? Geez, we need some good conditions for that. But I've got a ace up my sleeve that I'm going to try. I'm going to see if one of the Steves in Wodonga is available. And I know it's a tough copy getting through to them, but it's worth a go. I'm just going to send them a messenger message and say, get on 11 AM and see if you can hear me. Okay, I have left a couple of messages for the boys, and normally I just ring one of them, but I'm using my phone to do this video. But I put a couple of messenger messages through. It'd be so nice if one of them were able to hear us. I've actually got the monitor on, just monitoring my own signal, and let's have a look. It should be able to even have a look. 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, I've got the scale wrong there. It's not going to help us much. Won't worry about that for the moment. But here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's I'm just doing an off-air monitor there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. JDW 229. Testing channel 11 AM on an old Lafayette HE20T for Tango. I wish the boys were on. I'm probably going to struggle to hear them, but I would just love to see a test and actually try to see how the AM detection's going on it. I think better than the other one, to be honest. I've still got a little bit of work to do on the other one. Look, it was working and quite okay, but like a lot of these radios, what are we talking? 50 years old. Yeah, sometimes, and what you didn't see is actually I went through and I peaked the tune over here. Actually, I didn't touch this one here. We got this up by about another half a watt. And frequency I didn't need to touch in here at all. But the receiver I probably will go through and see if we can pick that sensitivity if the boys don't come up. But that'll probably be some stuff that won't quite make it to the video. But just so you know, all that's involved is putting a signal in, and pretty much around here and here you're not going to have too much problems. This will be more detection, but here and these two here, specifically here, I think is going to be a big one. This IF can here, but we'll find out when we put a bit of signal into it. I'll have my new little tripod thing for doing videos. I'll have 2 hands free soon. My goodness, maybe it doesn't do this all the time. Thanks for putting up with that. All right, let me see if I can raise up the boys. Okay, I couldn't raise the 2 Steves in Wodonga, so I'm transmitting at the moment. As you can see, there's my transmit signal, but we'll go back to receive because we've got Yoshi on the line. Hey Yoshi, can you hear me at all?
Yep, okay, I can hear you perfectly fine. Come through nicely.
Oh, that is good, and you're coming through beautifully. And Yoshi, with a name like Yoshi, does that put you in Japan, or whereabouts are you?
Something like that. Sounds about right.
Sounds about right. Okay, thanks very much for the test report. You're coming through 5 by 9 plus about 1 million, and If anybody hasn't guessed, this is Riley in the other room because I couldn't raise me mates. But the detector seems to be working. We're probably overloading the front end a little bit at the moment. Okay, catch you, Yoshi.
73s, I guess.
Who says you can't find good help? Now, that was so good of Riley to give us a bit of a hand. And I'll just check any of the Steves. Hang on, I like the meter function. Any of the Steves out there? Testing. This is Jack Daniels Whiskey 229 using my old CB call sign. I wonder if 231 or 177, if you're around on channel 11 AM at 11, I don't know, might be 11:30, I'm not sure what time it is. Pretty hopeful. I don't think we're going to get them. But it was good just to sort of see how the detection circuit works. Probably should have backed Riley's power down even a bit more. Yoshi. That comes from some game that he used to play. And he always used to have Yoshi as his handle as such, you know. Anyway, and see, he's 17 now, so that embarrasses him. I mean, he used to do that when he was 8 years old, so so having kids is always an experience in how much can you embarrass them, you know, in any one day. Don't worry, they definitely get their own back. All right, so that's the Lafayette HE20T. It's been a good journey through this one. Sorry some of these videos have gone a bit longer, but it's just been good to take the lids off and have a bit of a look. Now, obviously, they're doing that to, you know, for the speaker, just to have a little bit of cushioning and to force the sound forward. But look, after we've cleaned this up a bit in here, this, you know, there's really not too much to do with this one. I didn't show you the underside, sorry, hang on. It's worth having a look at. Just how they, and this is old world, but tell you what, it's quality old world. Thanks very much. I can't remember who it was. Someone gave me a lead in Canberra, some nice old, well, a supplier of some nice oldest old capacitors and bits that we need. Yeah, let's get that back down again. That's better. But yeah, so I'm impressed, and I hope, you know, you don't have to be as impressed as me because, you know, I'm a bit nuts when it comes to this stuff. But I love matching accessories. I love the fact that we've got to investigate what happens here, by the way. Yeah, as you can see, all they're doing is they're just sweeping a crystal. So there's a cap here that's going around, and it's just not working correctly at the moment. Maybe with the help of the manual over here, we'll learn a bit more. But and just so you know, this is way out of my expertise. My apprenticeship didn't cover 1960s radios. It's so, you know, I'm just sort of learning as I go here, having a bit of a play, and if we get a bit of a laugh at it at the same time, it's good. But you know, whilst we're going to have to respray the case on this one, you know, the case is it's not going to be an obvious respray. It's not like trying to match up a Yaesu colour or a Kenwood colour. You really can sort of get away with a very close colour, but we'll sandblast that and get it all back to looking very, very nice. And because it's got such a nice front panel, you know, there's a bit of a clean up around here. There's a couple little marks that we'll you know, fix up. Samantha, being a craft expert, has a set of 500 pens, and they're all different shades of different colour, and you can just find the right colour at times for, say, a little mark like that, which is so minor, but you know, we like to try and make these things look as good as possible. All right, sorry this video went so long. If you're still here to the end, well, I'll tell you what, you know, you're somebody that loves old vintage gear like me. And if you're not here, it's okay, because I'm not sure I would sit there for 23 minutes of my raving on either. All right, 73s, please subscribe. Just trying to get our subscriber base up. So if you've got a friend that is interested in radio, please, you know, especially in the comments section, if they join and they want to see a particular radio and they want to know more about it, we've probably got it here. We're slowly getting to them all, but yeah, please, you know, feel free to join our channel. Feel free to, you know, suggest in the columns below. Just you know, even if it's not relevant to the actual video itself, if you want to see a particular radio, please, you know, put it in the comments file, and we'll do our best to have a bit of a play with one, and especially if it's one that we haven't got, because then we'll go out and buy it, and then we'll play with it. And trust me, I'm not kidding. We've been doing this a bit lately. There's been a few suggestions, and I've gone, oh, haven't got one of those, and a few weeks later, hey, we've got one of those now. Anyway, that's just the madness going on in this little endeavour to try and collect a few radios. 73 is all the best. Cheers.